Good morning. We have a special delivery from TYM getting delivered today by SR1. I'm pretty sure I hear them coming up the driveway right now. I've been waiting for this for a little while now. A lot of you guys probably already know if you've been watching the channel for a while. We've been working with TYM for about 4 years now, and we love their tractors, and we're getting a new one today. I don't know about you, but I am definitely a tool and a gadget guy. I love equipment, I love tractors, I love all different tools, and I'm excited for this one. I can start to see it. Thank you guys. So the main reasons we wanted to get the 754 tractor is we want to be able to start mowing hay, and it's kind of like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? If you're gonna be mowing hay, do you need the tractor? Do you need the haying equipment, or do you need hay fields? I know, it's so complicated, there's so many different things. So this is one of the first pieces for being able to make our own hay, is a tractor that can run the equipment. Our 574 puts out around 50 horsepower at the PTO, which you can run some haying equipment from my research on that, but you're gonna be maxing out your RPM. Like, you're gonna be maxing out the tractor. A lot of the haying equipment I see wants 50 horsepower or more, so it's like right at the baseline. So the 754, we're gonna have more than enough horsepower. This has 75 horsepower for running haying equipment. We can use it for moving around round hay bales, and we can use it for maintaining our long country driveway. So from down here to the house, we have at least a half mile. And then we have from over here to the workshop more, and then the road that goes up is pretty long too. So having a big piece of equipment so we don't have to worry about getting buried in is gonna be ideal for that. We wanna get some bigger attachments that we need more horsepower for, and this tractor is going to do that. So this is the first step of many for making hay. So now I need to be keeping my eye out for some used haying equipment. So if you guys know of any good used haying equipment in the New England area, or online auctions or anything like that, let me know, because I want to get some haying equipment. I really want to stop making round bales. Square bales, I mean, I probably could, but round bales would be a lot easier. They're a lot less labor intensive, as in having to pick them up, stack them, and move them. We can wrap them, and then we can make haylage, which the cows love haylage. I'd really love to get into making that. And then we can use the tractor for doing most of the work. So yeah, I am excited. So we have an exterior raise and lower lever here for the 3-point hitch. When the tractor's running, you can raise it up. You can lower it down when it's not, but you can't raise it back up till it is. We have 2 rear hydraulic ports, which is nice. We have a 7-pin trailer pin here, which is awesome. We have the trailer hitch there. You can change that out. We got the PTO, hasn't been used yet, so we got a nice cover on it. What else do we have back here? I think we got the windshield washer fluid filler upper there. We got directionals, brake lights. Their tires are nice and wide. They are filled. We had SR1 fill these up with beet juice, so we have extra weight in here. This thing is shop looking. We got some work lights on the back. We'll have to see how bright those are. Maybe we'll upgrade those to a nice bright LED if they're not bright enough, but that'll be in the future. The cab has heat and air conditioning. We have our diesel fill right here, which is really nice about this. The fuel fill right here is really nice. If you're filling it with a 5-gallon pail, you can set the 5-gallon pail here, fill it. It's easy access, perfect height for lifting. You got a light here, you got your exhaust, you have more outside lights, you got your mirrors, one there, one there. We got it with a front loader. We have the R4 tires. Bam. This loader is a self-leveling loader. So when you raise and lower it, it will stay level. It'll actually stay however you have the bucket. So if you have the bucket curled, it'll stay that level all the way. If you're using a regular tractor with pallet forks and you want your pallet forks to stay straight, you always have to be messing with your lever to keep it curling back up and down to keep it level. This one will automatically stay where you have it. So that is nice. We have the third function valve right here. Plug right in, so we can use a grapple bucket, we can use our hay bale clamps. That's one of the big things we'll be using this thing for, is to move round bales around. Let's see, what else do we have here on the exterior? Right here is a little indicator rod. Our 574 also has this, so right now it is, the other rod inside is just down, so that's saying that the bucket is level. So if you keep your bucket there, it'll be level. And then you can watch this to see where your bucket position is. The lines for the loader coming down there. We have a hydraulic filter right here. Nice part about that is it is behind this cage, so we don't got to worry about hitting it. All right, so this has a nice wide stance. Let's measure and see how wide the wheelbase is in the back here. Right around there, looks good. I'll double check, but if we are right there and we are good, we are at 91 inches, so 7 feet 7 inches. That's going to give us some nice stability when we're out in some of the rolling pastures, and then having the tires loaded, it's going to give us more weight. So we're going to know we are good and planted, which is nice. It has 75 horsepower, so it is just below needing DEF. So we don't have DEF on this. We have a catalytic converter built into it, so we don't have to worry about ever having to do a regen. So we're gonna use the self-leveling mode of the bucket. As I'm raising it up, you're gonna see the bucket stays level. I am not having to do anything there. That is just automatically doing it on its own with the self-leveling feature. That self-leveling feature is going to come in really handy for if you're unloading anything with your pallet forks. You just put your pallet forks in, and when you lift it up and move it around, it's going to stay level. So if you're loading and unloading a tractor trailer with anything, you can just pull right in, lift it up. You don't have to be keeping an eye on your curling. So that is going to be nice for spearing hay. If you're lifting it up and then you want to raise it, it's going to stay there. When you're grappling hay, same thing. You can just go on, grapple it, and then pick it up. You don't have to be messing around with your curling. So I am excited for that feature. It's going to make moving things around a lot easier. All right, let's take this over to the shop. There's a few things I want to do to it. And I want to put it next to the 574 and compare the difference and go over a few things that are different on this one than the 574. Not like the horsepower wise, but what the inside is different, like options and how everything is set up. Let's go take a ride to the shop. So some of the things that's going to be different on the 754 and my 574 is going to be the difference on some of the tractors, but maybe not all of them. So this one is a power shuttle. That one is a hydrostatic. You cannot get this tractor in a hydrostatic transmission. You can get it in regular gear standard or regular gear shift, and you can get it in the power shift. We have the power shift, the 574. You can get into a power shift. So if you got a 574 power shift, that would be set up the same way as this one, but there's some features in this one, or there's features in the 574, I should say, that aren't in the 754. So let's go over those and we'll do a little comparison side by side. Let's start on the outside of the tractor when you're getting in. The 754 has 2 steps. 574 has 1. The front tires and rear tires are a lot bigger. We have a lot more of a offset with the tires. See the space? 574. You're pretty close to the cab, so your tires are set in more. I like the wider stance from factory of the 754 for better stability. Here we have hills and rocks, so that's going to be nice. 574 to get that. You could get wheel spaces, but this one already comes this way. If you don't want this one as wide, you could flip your rims around and your offset would bring it in. 3-point hitch setup is pretty much the same. This one is a category 2, so it's beefier, but the setup itself is the same. That's a category 1. We have 2 rear remotes. So does the 574. We have a lever here to raise and lower. The 574 also has that. We got the lights, a rear window wiper, 2 lights. That has that also. We got the triangle. That one does not have the triangle. I like the rear window. It is nice. We got our washer fluid filler right there. We got our tow hitch. 574 has that also. I have removed it. This one I'm gonna have to take off. My 754 has a 7-pin trailer plug. My 574 does not, but it has a bracket. So it looks like you can probably get them with it. I just don't have that. Bam, and then I guess the plugs are right here. So yeah, that could be an easy upgrade on this tractor. Yep, all I would need to do is get this plug with the right OEM plug end on it. That's good to know. The stack on the 754 comes out on the side and is covered with a shield, so you can't grab the pipe and burn yourself. We got our turn signal lights, fuel tank, that's the same on the 754. We have our brush guard. This one says TYM on it. A little bit different hood and light setup. Third function on this one, kind of jumping around a little bit. The third function on the 754, it has 2 buttons on the controller. So when you're opening and closing, you would just hit this button or that button, and that's it. The 754 has the third function. This is an option you can get right on the front here. And it's got the big valve body right there, where the 574 has it underneath. So they're a little bit different of a third function valve. This one is more of like a diverter valve, which they both are, but it operates differently. You'd push your button in, and with the curl of the bucket is how you're going to operate the third function on this one. So if you're putting a grapple bucket on, you'd have to push that in and then close the grapple by curling and uncurling, so you won't be able to curl at the same time. The loader on this is a lot bigger. The bucket is a lot bigger. We'll get them side by side in a little bit. They both have doors that open on both sides. This is the year newer, so it has red rims. That one has silver rims. Let's get in the cab and compare the cabs, and then we'll come out and we'll open up the hood and see under the hood. All right, first we'll remove the blue. So satisfying. I also got a goodie bag. Inside my goodie bag is our owner's manuals, replacement filter, another replacement filter. These are factory TYM. This is a, let's see, 3141. This one is a 3141, so we get 2 of those. This is a remote and a book for my radio. We have some pins. We're gonna stick those right in there, so when I need them, we have them. And then we have some replacement balls. These are for the category 2 top bar. So right here, you can knock out one of these pins, and then you can push this lever, and then you can replace these. The one in there is actually a smaller diameter, and then it comes with 2 replaceable ones that are bigger diameters in the center. Not sure exactly what that is for. It must just be for different size pins that you need for different attachments. So that is good to know. And that's gonna stay in this bag with my filters and all of my manuals. So if you guys use your radio, there is a remote in here. Let me open it and show you. Comes with a cute little Kenwood remote and some extra screws. Put that all back together. And then we got the owner's manual. All right, let's get down to more of the fun stuff inside the cab. We got our seat. It's got some suspension. You can tighten and loosen that right here. You can control the backrest from forward, reverse here. You got one cup holder, little tray kinda. You can set your cell phone in, somewhat. Over here, you got a little dish, so you can put your cell phone in there if you didn't have pins. Let's see how the cell phone fits. Yeah, cell phone fits good there. So I can put this stuff over there. We have a cigarette adapter. No USB port, so you'd have to get a cigarette adapter to USB port right there. We have a switch for a front, exterior lights up high, and then rear out high. Front and rear wiper. We have washer fluid for front and rear. Back windows, this. I don't know how good we can show it, but I've never had this in one of my tractors yet. We got a sunroof. Bam! We can let a little bit of a breeze in by doing that, and then opening that one. Your doors, you want to keep them shut. I've learned that. You don't want to break them. But we also have, which is a big one, heat and air conditioning. So you can have heat, AC, or you can have just the outside air blowing around. These front vents are the only ones that blow. There is rear vents, but these ones recirculate the air. So if you're in one of your tractors, whether it's the 754 or 574, one of their other ones that has inside, these are just recirculating vents, so it sucks the air in and recirculates it. These are the ones that blow. So they swivel, which is nice. So in the wintertime, you can have it on for defrost, because this is where all of the venting is. We have a dome light. I have seen somebody put a blue bulb in there, so at nighttime you can have that on and you can still see out. I kind of like that idea. I might have to get one and try it. So that'd be kind of cool. We have 2 speakers. We do have the Kenwood radio, which is Bluetooth, which is nice. So then over here we have AC on, off, temperature control and speed control. It is really nice having heat and AC in your tractor, especially in the summertime when the sun is out blaring in your windows. It's nice for the AC. The wintertime, we're here in a northern climate. It is really nice having heat when you're out snow plowing or doing anything. I am really excited to have the 754 now. We're gonna be using this for snow. They're calling for a lot of snow this year. We have an Arctic snow plow that we're gonna be using on this. We also have an Arctic pusher, so I am excited to be able to use that. So, what else? That's kind of some of the frills right in like this part. So a few of these things over here I'm going to be showing you the 574 does not have. We have the PTO shift lever. We have 540 backwards, neutral, 540E is forwards. So I'm going to keep that just in 540 for now. And then we have creep speed, which down is off, up is on. I've never used creep speed before. From what I understand, creep speed is you can put that in and then it will go super slow, and you can control your slow speed right here. You can go like turtle and a little bit faster, and it's even gonna be super slow at that point. We don't have a big field to try it in, otherwise I would. What I was told is, but as far as like if you're out haying and you got your hay wagon back there, you can be down there, let the tractor go on creep speed. Basically it's like walking pace. You can have it dialed down to, and then you can get out, you can throw your hay bales onto your hay wagon. That would be great if we needed it, but we don't. I can't see that getting used here, but that's kind of a cool feature. I wish I had a long, straight, flat field to try it on, but here we don't have anything like that. But there is something else on this that's kind of like it that I really like, but I don't want to jump ahead to that just yet. I do have a little hook on this one. The 574 does not have that, so that's cool for hats. I like that. Sorry, just kind of a random thought. but this only has 1 cup holder. The 574 has 3 cup holders, and that is really nice. And it has a little bit more compartment space. I like that because when you're out running your tractor for a while, I use a lot of things. Maybe it's because we also make videos and we're doing a lot of camera work, so we have a lot of like that kind of equipment with us. So all the little compartments are nice, which this one doesn't have. Do you guys like a bunch of little storage in your tractors and your equipment? Let me know. I do, and this does not have that. So that's my thought. Let me know what yours is. So back to the PTO, how it's 540 and 540E. What that is 540 is you're gonna have your RPM of your tractor up to, let me show you. You're gonna have your RPMs up to right here, where it says 540 on the tachometer. You know, like say 2200 RPMs. And that's gonna give you right around 70 horsepower out to the PTO. This motor's around 75 horse, but your PTO, you get a little bit less. If you don't need that full amount of horsepower to the PTO, say you got an implement that only requires like 25 or 35 horsepower, you'd put it in 540E, and then you can have your RPMs around 1600, so you don't need to have your motor as wide open, so you're not gonna be using as much fuel to be running your PTO. You're still gonna get your 540 out the back of the PTO, but just with less horsepower. So that is a really cool feature. The 574 does not have that. It's only a 50 horsepower back to the PTO. So, I don't know, that was a cool feature that I thought I was really excited about. A lot of the 3-point implements we have right now are all lower horsepower ones, so we can just leave that in 540E. We can run the engine at lower RPMs. We don't gonna be wide open, but we'll still get the 540 out the back. So we have high, medium, low on this shifter. Our second shifter is over here. We have first, second, third, fourth. It shows you your speed table and your gear patterns over here. So we have 2 rear remotes on this tractor. You could get 3, we have 2. So we have the black shift left knob, which is the black valve body out there. Then we have the green handle, which is the green valve body out there. I like how they color code it so you know which one's which. And then this is the height of the PTO. So this will drop it. This will bring it up. This is kind of cool. This is a lever lock. So say you have your attachment and you like the height you want it when you're mowing or anything else, you can set this to where you want it, and then bam, you can't go any lower. It's foolproof. So we have our lever to control the bucket, and then we have the third function valve here. We also have a lockout. So if we push that in, this locks the handle and you cannot use your loader. This pedal right here, you push that down and it locks your rear differential. Then we have our clutch, and we have a clutch lock, which you might think is kind of weird, but the way I was explained that to me is if you're gonna be parking your tractor for a while, a month, a few months, if you lock your clutch in, it'll separate the clutch plates, so you don't have to worry about your clutch plates freezing up on you and rusting together or corroding together, and then you'd have issues. So that's kind of a cool feature. Weird at first, but I'm like, oh, that makes sense. We have our brakes, the brake locks. You want to lock your brake, press it down, lift it up. You want to unlock them, boom. And then also we have this lever, so we can unlock the brakes, and we can just use the left brake or just the right brake, or we lock them together. The reason for that is if you want to steer with your brakes, you have that unlatched, and if you hit the right brake, you're steering that way, left brake, so on and so forth. So yeah, then this is kind of cool. I like this. We have our foot throttle right here. It's just moving the foot throttle. But then right here, we got our hand throttle. Watch this. See if we can get it on camera. Pull this down, and it pulls your throttle pedal down. Can you see that? Bam. So I am used to my 574 tractor. I was like, oh, I got my green button right here for cruise control. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not cruise control. What? You might think cruise control in a tractor sounds a little obnoxious, but it's not. If you're mowing a long area or driving a long area, you can just set it and take your foot off the gas and just kind of watch everything else. You can turn around, watch back here, and you don't have to worry about keeping your foot on the throttle. So this one has a hand control to rev the RPM, and when you're in gear going, you can just raise and lower this, and that'll keep the engine RPM where it is. So you're gonna stay going the consistent speed unless you're going uphill. Then it's gonna slow down a little bit. You'll have to give it more throttle with either the foot or the hand, but it's got cruise control. I mean, I'm going to call it cruise control. It's not really cruise control, it's throttle control, engine RPM, but it works good. I really like that. I don't know. So I was excited to see how that works. All right, moving on. We have our PTO off auto manual. And then, so if you have a manual, you'll turn it on and off right here. And that'll engage and disengage the PTO, but you also got to have this selected. So I'll set that back to off. What I thought was cruise control button. This is cruise control. My 574 is four-wheel drive. So this is electronic push button four-wheel drive. The 474s and like the 574s right here, this lever, which is the creep on this tractor, that is your four-wheel drive on those tractors. So this one has the electronic push button four-wheel drive, which is nice. All right, so here it is very simple. We have our tachometer, our hour meter, fuel, and then when you're driving, it tells you in kilometers how fast you're going. That wind is changing. I can feel the rain coming in. All right, so let's see. The only other thing we did not mention yet so far, it's kind of hard to show you. Let me see. Here we go. This is the power shuttle pot of the tractor, which in my opinion makes this awesome. So instead of just having your gears, like you have your high, low, medium, and your 1, 2, 3, 4, so that gives you 12 speeds forward and reverse, you have your power shuttle right here. So I'll turn the key on. It's probably gonna make some obnoxious noise. So I'm in forward, indicator shows forward, and then I'll do this, come down, I'm in neutral, and then coming back, I'm in reverse. Super loud backup alarm. I might have to find out where that's located. I'm gonna have to find out where that's located, put it that way. So that is your selector for forward, neutral, and reverse. So being a power shifter or power shuttle, if you want to go forward, you put it in forward. You want to go reverse, you put it in reverse. So the nice thing about that is you select your gear by putting it into whatever gear you want with your clutch. First you're going to pick high, medium, low, and then you're going to pick your gear option over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then take your clutch out when you're in forward. You're going to be going forward. You want to stop, you slow down, you almost come to a stop, you flip your controller into neutral, no clutch, bam, you're stopped. You want to go reverse, keep your foot on the brake, put your indicator once you come to a complete stop into reverse. You're going to back up. When you're done backing up, slow down, put it in neutral, come to a complete stop, put it in forward. So there's no clutching until you're changing from high, medium, low, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll try to show you what I mean driving around. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what I'm missing, because so far I am loving it. Let's jump over to the 574 real quick. We'll get into that cab and we'll show you what looks the same, what looks different. All right, so the 574, I have my ITC saw boss on here. This holds my chainsaw, holds a chain. The other side, I got a toolbox over there. That is not factory. That is something I've gotten from ITC, which works awesome. So we're not gonna compare that. We have the door, just like we have in the other tractor, one less step. Then you come in here. So you have 2 cup holders, 1, 2. You have a little regular like cigarette lighter adapter. Then you have a USB, 2 USB ports right there. Little tiny tray, which is nice. So to me, this already has more storage and space than the 754. Over here, you have 1 cup holder and a bigger tray. I will say, like confined wise, there's less space on the edge of the seat because the fenders come in more than on the 754. This tractor does not have creep. Our seat belt retracts, adjusts the same way for the seat. Our 4-wheel drive lever is right here. Our medium, high, low, so it's a little bit of a different like gear pattern, but that lever is in the same spot. Our brake is on the left now instead of being on the right. Same lever lock. We have the same thing to tie the brakes together. This we have our throttle lock. We have our regen button. Then we have an info button right here. So this dash, I'll show you. You can get more information on this dash than you can the 754. Turn the key on real quick. So if we hit info, we can get temperature, battery volts. The 754, you don't have that option. We have PTO, off, manual, auto, our PTO button, our engine RPM, and then we have our key. And then being hydrostatic, we have forward and reverse right here. This tractor has to have cruise control because it's hydrostatic, or it has to have a button to lock the cruise control in because it's hydrostatic. So just this hand throttle, if you have your engine revving, it's not going to make you automatically go faster unless you lock in the cruise control button. So that's a little bit of the difference there. Speakers are the same. The vents are the same, backwards and front. We have the controls for the heat and AC the same. Radio is the same one. I don't have a moonroof. My dome light is a little bit different. It's bigger in this one and it's more center. This one's set up pretty close to the 754. Just the power shuttle part of it is a little bit different, is the big one on that. You have more information on your dash, not a ton more, but a little bit more. A few more buttons on this one. More shift and levers on the 754, but all in all, it's the same. Let's go open the hood on the 754, and then we'll get these two side by side, and we'll get a comparison of the size, so you guys can kind of see that, because a lot of people think more horsepower is better, and it can be and is in some instances, but size of the tractor also matters. I know, they always say size matters, but sometimes with tractors, you want smaller. Crazy, right? So, smaller tractors sometimes are handier for different situations, like if you're working in a tight spot, if you don't have a big acreage or yard to work in, the different jobs you're doing, smaller tractors are better, but then sometimes you need a big tractor to get the job done. So we'll do a comparison of that, because if you're just needing one tractor and you want to know size-wise what is better for you, yeah, it's raining. So let's get this done quick. All right, don't do what I do. Never do this, but I want to be able to show you guys a little bit more of this stuff without the loader in the way. So right here we have our brush guard. You loosen it up, and then you can put it up and pull it down to get your hood. There's a lever here. Open your hood, and then you have your access to the front of the motor. You have your coolant overflow, have your turbo right there, you have your AC compressor, your fan, your alternator, more computer plugins. So this tractor has the 4-cylinder liquid cool Deutz motor in it. This one is 4-wheel drive. I have the R4 tires on it. You could also get ag tires or turf tires for it. I go with the R4 because they're kind of like an in-between tire. We're always doing so many different things. Sometimes we need it for agriculture stuff, sometimes we need it for turf stuff, and sometimes we just need it for construction stuff. So the R4 I find is the best for that. What else? I know I've got to be missing a few things on it. I already showed you guys the leveling auto level bucket, which is really cool on this thing. And they both come with a 5-year limited warranty. I think one of the best warranties out there. Now let's put them side by side and get a good size comparison. All right, let's see how good of a side-by-side comparison size-wise we can get showing on camera, because there is a pretty big difference. I did a pretty good job parking them side by side. That's the front tire, back of the tractor. Yeah, look at that difference. Let's see if we can get a better side view. And then there's a good height difference. You can see from there to there. You can really see the length difference here. These tires are lined up on the front. That's how much longer it is. And then in the front, the tires are lined up and the noses are pretty close to the same. So this part's the same. The loader sticks out a good foot past the 574 loader. But yeah, bumper wise, we're lined up good there. Front tires are. The front of the cabs, this one's forward a little bit more. The back of the cabs are, this cab's longer than the wheelbase for sure. And then how wide they are. Let's go take this out on our road and do some drive testing with it. in medium range, third gear. Gonna put it in forward, and then we'll use the hand throttle. We're going 7.2 kilometers. Now we'll push the clutch in. We're going to go to fourth. RPM's the same. Now we're right around 2,000 RPMs. We're going 9.6 kilometers. So now let's go into high. High, we're going to go first. High first, we are going 11 kilometers. Alright, we're going to stay in high range second for a little while until we get to a straightaway because it can go pretty fast in second gear. Let's see. At 2,000 RPMs, we are at 15 kilometers. So we're in a smoother part of the road now. We're going to put it into third gear. Let's see how it does. We be hauling. We're at 2,000 RPMs now, and we are going 23 kilometers. Woo. I wanted to see how fast it would go and how it would ride, because sometimes when you're going from field to field, you want to be able to get there with a good road gear. And this, to me, seems like it's going to have a good speed from driving from field to field if and when needed. It has plenty of power. I have not found that we are lacking any power. We haven't done a ton with it yet. We just got it. But I had planned on doing some brush hogging today. But the rain has came a lot earlier than they were calling for. So we're not doing any brush hogging today, unfortunately. There's not a lot of things we can do right now. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to see me do or test with the 754. We have some work that we plan on using this for. It'll be nice having a big loader. I am excited to use this winter for plowing and pushing snow. I'm looking into getting some tire chains for this with ice picks, with spikes, whatever you would like to call them. So that way if the driveway freezes up, we can go up and down with the tractor and break up the ice. We did get the tires loaded with beet juice. SR1 did that for us. So we have extra weight back here, which is going to be really good for when we're using different implements on it, when we're using the loader and we have the bucket loaded, when we're trying to break up ice this winter. But yeah, I am excited. What are some implements we should get for this? Let me know. There's always fun toys you can get. So this is where we're gonna end this video. A little bit different of a video. I wanna thank TYM for sponsoring the channel and always having fun with their tractors and for them making such a good quality tractor at a great price. I hope you guys are getting just the right amount of rain where you are. We've been getting too much. I know some people haven't been getting any, so I would love to share my rain with you guys if I could and give you the right amount that you need. So hopefully that's what you're getting. This is where we're gonna end this video. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. We'll see you right back here in the next video. Bye.